Hi everyone, it's Michelle Weiner-Merbaum with It's Our Turn.style, and today we are here with my good friend Ellen Sischel from Custom Com. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Ellen does workshops for women and just individuals in general who have issues with chronic stress due to physical and chronic illnesses. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, good. I got that right.
Got it right.
I got it right. And in fact, you just came from a big conference downtown in Atlanta.
Yeah,
That's
I
great.
work with professionals as well as individuals.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And she does private coaching and empowering people to deal with their chronic illnesses. I loved something that I read on your bio, and so I took it out and I cut. It's not plagiarism if I'm telling you
No,
about
absolutely
it.
not.
And it said that you're teaching people how to transform reactivity into calm, control, and focus.
Right, exactly.
I love that. I love that. And hopefully you'll be able to help me because God knows I live with stress. Well, that's great. So, Ellen, how you got into this field?
It shows me I did not choose it.
Okay.
Okay. I was a stressed out type A individual and my body imploded with illness. That was my wake up call. I had lupus, diagnosed postpartum child number 2.
Kids.
And those kids, I'm telling you, they make all these illnesses come up. And I'm not blaming. Anyway, that was my wake-up call that I could no longer live life the way I was living it, which was super mom, super person, and you get it.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, many of us are there. And my body imploded with illness because partly the way I did life. And so that was my wake-up call to go and try some different things because I did not want to be drugged up. So I went and tried a gentle yoga class, and I hated it because I thought it was stupid. I didn't feel anything, and I was a type A personality.
Right.
However, my body loved how it felt. So what does a good type A do? They go for yoga training. And they don't stop at 200 hours. No, they get 1,000 hours of training, and they don't stop there, right? What do?
It's a problem. She's describing me a little bit too well.
They open a yoga studio.
Yes, we do.
Of course. So that's what I did, and life was great, and things were under control because I did have a very deep yoga meditation practice. And it sustained me, so life was back under control. I was probably a type A minus by then, maybe. Until child number 2, when she was 8, all of a sudden I see her tripping on the bases in Little League, and she's diagnosed with a form of muscular dystrophy. Well, as you can imagine, as any of you can imagine, my life was turned upside down.
Okay.
And what happened was, all this yoga and meditation was great, but I had to open the door, leave the house, get into traffic, deal with doctors, try to juggle being super mom to my older daughter, wife, family in New York,
You had to
dog,
face life.
on life's terms.
Right.
So I thought, this is not practical enough for me. It's not sustaining me. It's not sustainable. You can't escape. People escape to get their stress-free. They go for the massage, right? They come out of the parking lot and a jerk cuts them off and they just blew $150
That's true.
and 3 hours of their life and they're back to the... So I went and heard about mindfulness training. And mindfulness is basically living life in the moment where your feet are planted. So I took training from the best.
So you studied the integrated medicine.
I studied some integrated medicine in addition to everything I've done in my life, because I was a business major in college. I wasn't thinking this is what I was going to be doing. And even then they taught you, have your clients do this for 40 minutes. And I'm thinking, yeah, right. If I told you, Michelle, you'll feel a lot better if you do this for 40 minutes a day, you'd say, Ellen, I'm cutting the tape, hit the door. So I decided, let me form my own program, which includes practical, sustainable. If you can't do it on 285 in traffic, it's not sustainable. If you can't do it when you're about to walk into a conference in your office or when you're talking to a doctor, it's not sustainable.
I just want to get something clear. You're not recommending that we close our eyes on 285 as we're driving.
It's not about closing your eyes.
It's not me.
No, don't close your eyes. And that's why I teach mindful-based practices are how to be present. It's open focus. There's more going on in the moment than the traffic jam.
That's great.
So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I know it works because I live it and breathe it.
Well, Lord knows I'm going to have you help me. Okay, and I was wondering, because I've read a lot on this because I am a type A personality and I feel like I need to know a lot about everything, even though I'm scattered. So what is the tie between the physical and emotional stress?
So if you think about your body, it's muscles and blood vessels, and I'm not a doctor, so, but it's,
Right.
you're made up of all that stuff. So every time your mind gets in reaction, because stress is not caused by the event, it's
Right.
caused by your reaction. So every time your mind gets in reaction, even if you're not in full fight or flight response, fight or flight is wonderful. If your kid's about to be hit by a car, you get a surge of energy and you're superwoman and you can stop a car probably.
Yes, I can.
But when you get a run in your stocking before an interview, or if you have a bad manicure, or if somebody cuts you off in traffic, you have the same reaction. And when you live that way, what you're doing is you're tightening every muscle and blood vessel in your body, and you're imploding upon yourself. So even with chronic pain, if you have pain and you're reacting to the pain, what do you think you're doing to your muscles?
Contracting, making them stressed, yeah.
It's the old Lamaze day, which in my day, I wasn't into that whole thing, but it's about breathing into it versus constricting against it. It's about watching it and noticing it without judging it.
And being reactive.
Judgment creates that's the reactivity.
Wow.
So there's fight or
I
flight.
get it. I
My
get
George,
it.
she's got it.
We can end it right now. I'm kidding. Okay, now, most of our audience, I would say 98% of our audience are middle-aged women from all over the country. We've even got emails from California lately, which is blowing my mind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What chronic illness, people that you work with, do you find most common in women? Is there such a thing that we can ask them?
Most common, I see a lot of fibromyalgia. I have lupus, so I see people with connective tissue disease. Arthritis is a biggie.
Yes.
Living with chronic pain. I can't fix, I'm not in the fixing business. I'm in the empowering business and teaching business. So I think those and new diagnosis with a chronic illness, like it can be Hashimoto's disease, which is thyroid.
Thyroid.
It can be MS.
Right.
You know, any illness, because the minute we get diagnosed, the stress creates, our body just implodes, but the other piece of it, we don't enjoy where we are right now. And I work with people with either caregivers, patients at all levels, and
Right.
a lot of them are in remission. And it's about living life in the moment, not in the future or the past. So that's how you can enjoy life even though you might be hurting right now sitting. I'm hurting right now sitting. I have osteoarthritis in my thumb joints.
Oh.
And I have some back issues because of lupus, scoliosis, etc. And while I'm feeling discomfort, there's so much more going on in the moment that it's just a blip in my experience. It doesn't become my whole focus. And that's
a good
like
mind changer.
freedom.
That's a mind
freedom.
changer.
Freedom.
To follow up with that, what would you say is your philosophy on life that can help people with stress? Do you have a philosophy to pass on?
Yeah, which is if you're in stress and reactivity, where's your mind? If you're upset about something happening at home, where is your mind?
It's home.
It's home. So it could be in the future, like, oh my
Right.
God, what's going to be? Or it could have been coulda, woulda, shoulda, past.
Right.
So the key is, which is really good news for you, because if your mind's in the future or past and it's not where your body is, well, then we need to get your mind back where your body is. And I teach all sorts of practices and quick techniques on, well, how do you do that?
So it's kind of reining your mind into the now instead of what's behind you, what's ahead
Yeah.
of you. It's where you are now.
So,
and
yes.
that's really difficult to do.
Very challenging, easier said
I
than
can
done.
say from me, like I'll think of stories that we're doing ahead,
Yes.
you know, and then I think about we have to edit from the past,
Yes.
you know, to put it all together. But I'm going to try that, and hopefully you'll teach me some techniques in a minute or two.
I will. So here's one thing it is. Riding the wave is being with what is. It is what it is,
Right.
while it is, the way it is, until it changes. Because what that does, it keeps you noticing it without judging it. It's like the weather forecast, they're watching the storm come in, right? And they're
Right.
describing the clouds and what could happen. They're not saying, oh my God, holy moly, I better get out of here because it's going to storm. What am I going to do? My car's going to break down. I'm going to be a mess, and then this and that. They're just reporting it.
On our Facebook page, it's our Turn.style. I put out feelers for some questions. I let them know that you were coming. And so I selected 3, and if you don't mind,
Sure,
answering
let's see what
these.
they are.
I have someone, Doris, hi Doris, from Florida, and she wrote, my husband suffers from Alzheimer's disease. He has had a hard time concentrating and has moments of agitation. Anything simple yet effective for him?
For him.
For him. Isn't that just like a woman? You
It's-
don't worry about the stress level of the caregiver. You're more worried about the person you're taking care of. You're so sweet, Doris.
And it's not just women.
Right.
The calmer you can stay with your loved one that's going through that, that's going to help diffuse him, because you're not getting all upset and reacting to what they're doing.
True.
Okay, so you have to get back in your body. And then with him, you can coach him to take a breath. You know, it depends how far they are in Alzheimer's.
Right.
And I was at a very interesting meeting about Alzheimer's. And they said, you know, after a while, right, they don't know. They get to a place they don't know. What you can do is you stay in the present moment and help coach them into the present
So
moment.
you take the lead.
You must. You must.
Doris.
You
I
must,
wish
Doris.
I wish you a lot of, love. I'm sending you love and care, and I hope everything works out. And thank you for that answer. That's great. Now I have Kiana from California. You're our first Californian.
Yay.
Yay! Thank you. She has I related to this one. Kiana has a very busy work schedule and has 3 kids and lots of stress. How can she fit in time to do yoga?
Probably not.
There you go. Thank you for that question.
But you can do yoga. You might not be able to commit to an hour and a half yoga class somewhere, but
Right.
you can do yoga in bed. I teach bed. There's bed yoga poses to do to help quiet your mind so you can relax. You can do yoga, and when she says yoga, she's talking about the poses. Yoga is much more
That's
than
what
the
most people
poses.
assume.
Right. So you can do yoga. I teach clients, depending on who they are, gentle yoga, even done on the chair. How about yoga at work? Do 2 poses when you're neck and back, or you start feeling stressed at the job. It has to be practical. So you can fit it in.
I'm doing yoga right now. She doesn't even know.
There you go. You can, actually, and nobody here would know, because there are things you can do with your feet. That's not yoga.
That's not yoga, people.
No, not necessarily. People think yoga is going into the cosmos. I'm here to tell you what I teach is get back in your body.
I'm glad you said that, because I wasn't going to say this on the air, but I'm a type A. And what I tried to do is I tried meditation from what I've read. And so, in fact, it's going to be on our Facebook page, how do you handle stress? And the pic that I chose is a Buddha that I put a little candle in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Buddhist, but I believe in the Zen and all that stuff. And I sit there and I try to clear my mind. That's impossible.
Well, because you can't fight your thoughts.
I can't, and they're winning.
But it's not about shutting them down. It's about noticing them without going into the whole story. In other words, you're having a thought. It's like a cloud moving and changing shape. It's just a thought. Let it come, let it go. Let it come, let it go.
Oh, that letting go thing, you're gonna work with
Watch
us
it.
on that.
It is what it is while it is the way it is until it changes.
I once heard, it will be what it will be.
Okay, Sarah.
Okay, Sarah, Sarah.
You don't want to hear me sing.
Well, thank you, Doris Day. We have a question. I think this is our last one. And it's from Wendy in New York. And Wendy wrote, she has hip, knee, and back issues. What can she do if she has limited mobility. I think that goes back to the question or the point that yoga isn't necessarily all physical.
Correct. So when you have chronic discomfort,
Right.
it's called riding the wave. Everything contains movement. And when we have pain or sensation, I don't like to call it pain because it puts in a box, it moves. It's either a throbbing or a pulsing or a burning, whatever it is. And again, when you start naming what it is versus, oh God, there goes my back again, it's killing me. There's your cognition and emotion into judgment about what's happening. Versus noticing what's going on as part of your experience, even while you're having lunch with a friend. Because if you're only focused on what hurts, you're going to miss out on the lunch with a friend. From a yoga standpoint, there's a little bit she can do. Clearly, I can't do it on this.
I was going to jump on the table right now.
I can have you do that. And the other thing is a lot of the breathing practices are very important because it brings more oxygen and nutrients into your body. So it's not just breathe. Doctors say breathe. Well, clearly you're breathing or you wouldn't be here. You'd be dropping over, right?
Lesson 1, breathe.
And there are practices to learn to either perk up if you're feeling tired, chill out, calm down, even while you're on the road and you're getting upset.
So basically it's a training of the mind.
It's a training of the mind using tools. So you can't train your mind, okay mind, you're not a type A, you're this calm person.
You're not a type A. You're not a type A, I tell you, you're not a type A.
Stop it already.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm going to say is, people think calm living means just what you did. Do I look like a Zen flower to you?
Absolutely you do.
Oh, I do not. It gives you more vitality.
Yeah, good.
I could look like a Zen flower,
You do.
but I'm still a aggressive, assertive,
Right.
fun-loving, peppy person.
But it also, it goes to show that the perception that other people have of you is not necessarily what's going on in you.
Yeah. But I like to have fun. And
Yes, you do.
So think about your mind. The calmer your mind is, and the more focused you are in the moment, the more joy you have and the more stamina. What do you think exhausts us? It's not just lack of sleep. It's not just running and doing. It's our mind.
Yes.
It's exhausting listening to yourself. Not that you.
What a compliment. Thank you so much.
When I listen to what my mind tells me, when I listen to what my mind tells me sometimes,
Right.
it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Stop. What are you doing?
Yes, you do have
What
it.
are you
I
doing?
get it.
Come back. Where are you going? You're on a bad trip. It's like letting your dog out. It's going to eat roadkill. So is your mind. Keep it on a short leash.
My mind will never eat roadkill. But okay, thank you.
You know what I mean.
I do. I get the point 100%. So now I'm wondering, now that you told us that there are many ways to do that and it's controlling the mind and stuff, without me jumping on the table,
No.
we'll save that for another time.
Yeah.
Can you teach us 1 or 2 techniques in the
So
car?
let's say
I
you're
mean,
in the
I'm
car.
a car right here.
Well, no, if they're driving, they're not driving because they're watching this. That would be bad. Okay, but you're home and the kids are in the background and you're just, doing the. So there are a couple of really simple. I call this a quickie, and this is a family show, not that kind of quickie.
It's
And
not a family show.
okay, that kind of quickie.
But
So here's what I want you
we
to do.
all like a quickie.
right
We're
now.
tired. We want a quickie.
So right now.
Yes.
Okay. So right now, what I want you to do is just notice that you're breathing. Don't close your eyes.
Okay.
Just notice you're breathing. Okay? Just become aware of it. Not think about it.
Yeah.
Become aware.
I'm breathing.
Okay. Now, that's good to know. Now what I want you to do is take a regular inhale and then slowly notice the wave of the exhale. Oh, you don't hold your breath.
She told me to hold it for a while.
Okay, you did. No, so let me explain first.
Yeah,
All I
first.
want you to do is, when you're taking an inhale, notice the wave. Have you seen an ocean wave before? It comes into shore.
I have seen an ocean wave.
So the wave comes into shore, it slows down,
Yes, it does.
it comes to shore, it stops for a moment, right? A moment before it recedes.
That's correct.
Okay, so what I want you to do, as an ocean wave, your breath has a wave. So use your breath, because your breath is with you, it's practical, it's free, and you can do it anywhere, right? It's
I have no choice.
Right, exactly. So it's a great, so
Okay.
And you can't stay stressed and breathe at the same time. The two don't go together. You don't. Get stressed. Do your stress thing.
I'm stressed all the time.
No, but do this, you're like this, and you're not
Okay.
breathing deeply. So
Okay.
all I want you to start with is, we're gonna do three things. Three simple, keep your eyes open, you're on 285. So take an inhale,
Have you seen me drive?
no, take an inhale.
Okay, let me know when to exhale.
Okay, just exhale as soon as you're done. Notice the inhale to the top, like a swing, and then notice the wave of the exhale. Let it out really slowly, like it's coming to shore. Notice it slow down, notice it stop, notice the pause, and then take another inhale. In other words, breathe and know that you're breathing. Use the breath as a way to get back, okay? Then,
This is good, I'm not kidding.
it's just two. It's so simple, you think, oh yeah, this is
As
simple,
in-
I'm paying you for this.
as
It's
in-
easy.
Actually, I'm not.
I know you're not.
Our budget? No, you know what? When you're at the end of the exhale, when you can't exhale anymore. If you take that notice, that time that it stops, the wave stops.
It's nothing there.
It's just, it's time to just roll it on back.
That's right.
It's very nice. Thank you. I like
And
that.
while you're doing that, let's say you're really upset about something, you've left your body is the key. When you're in reaction, you're not in your body. So get back in your body. The breath is one way. Now feel your feet, get your feet uncrossed if they're crossed, whoever's listening, and feel your feet on the floor, the whole weight of your feet. Now if you're sitting, feel your sitting bones, your little butt bones, in the
It's
chair.
not so little.
The bones are little.
I'm big boned.
Oh, okay. So your big butt bones, notice them in the
Yes.
chair. Okay? Keep your eyes open.
Oh, yeah.
This is about noticing everything.
I'm noticing.
Okay, get back. Okay? If you're standing, you want to stand.
Yeah.
Notice your feet, and then put a little bit more weight in the fronts of your feet. If you're standing, because that's where you're more steady.
Okay.
So if you're about to walk into an interview somewhere and you're feeling your heartbeat and your stomach jump, or somebody just threw another pile of stuff on your desk to get done and it's 3:30 and you want to get out of there, you're going to react and you're going to slow down your own process because your mind is going to get agitated. That's when you use this. So simple. Just ride the wave of your breath, feel your feet on the floor, get back in your body because you've left. Okay? And that's the heart and soul of my work. How do we get you back? It's not about escapism.
And it's a great gift. And I never realized it before, but actually the message that you teach, being in the moment and appreciating what we have in the moment and accepting and moving on and that's exactly what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We're telling women, you're the priority now.
Right.
You need to find your moment.
And here's the beauty of it. And this is the empowering part, but it's also responsibility.
Okay, it's the empowering part.
Okay. If you're not the problem, there is no solution.
If I'm not the problem,
There's no solution.
there's no solution.
Because if you're waiting for somebody to do what they're supposed to do, or you're waiting for your kids to appreciate you, or I know, don't even go there. Or if you're
One day
waiting,
they will.
you're waiting for your loved one to feel better,
Right.
right? You're missing out on your life in the waiting, or you're waiting till your chronic illness gets better. Well, you know what? This is what it is now. So learn and take the responsibility and learn how to live your life now. Because otherwise, what's the point?
Live your life now.
Exactly, and it's not like be in the moment, be in the zen. It's like, let's get real, let's cut through the BS and let's
F
do
the
it.
Zen.
Enough!
You're the priority and live your life. It's you. It's your turn.
You got that right.
Thank you. And I want to let you know, Ellen, thank you. Thank you
It's fun.
so much. And I want you to read, well, it's not a homework assignment, but Ellen wrote this book, Splash Into Calm, and it contains a lot of the things that
A lot of techniques, stories. It's written real with humor, and it's a great book. You can only you don't only have to read like 3 pages a week.
Thank you for joining us, and check us on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and anything else you can think of, because I'm learning and we're getting up on everything, and I hope you learned a lot. Thank you. Ellen.
Thanks. It was great.
Bye, Michelle Weiner-Merbaum from It's Our Turn.style, and do it with style.